Hey everybody, welcome to the Token Nerd Podcast, where we ramble on about geeky things ranging from Batman to pop figures to Star Wars. I'm Anthony Pettiford.
And I'm Travis Lyinks.
We're back with episode 8. No clever name for this episode.
Not yet anyway.
The Hateful 8. The Playful 8. There it is. That's the one. Welcome to Token Nerd episode 8, The Playful 8. Anyway, it's the beginning of the month. And I thought that we should talk a little bit about stuff that's getting ready to happen, movies that are coming up. But one of the most exciting things about the month of March is that we will be going to C2E2 coming up here on the 18th through the 20th.
For those that don't know.
Oh, for those who don't know.
C2E2 is a gathering of nerddom in the Chicago area. It's actually not too far from downtown. And it stands for the Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo. C2E2 for those that get the reference there. So it's a rising con. It really is. I mean, I believe it is now the third largest con. I mean, I know I believe it's Wizard Con, the one out in Seattle. It's coming up quick, but I think it's still holding out at third. It's a fun show that we've been on and off for the past few years, and it between the two of us, I think we've been there the last 4 years, all of us. Yeah. But not at the same time.
No. So we went together 3 years ago.
And then I went the next year.
And then I went last year.
Yeah. And every year it's gotten bigger. It's gotten better. And there's always seems like more interesting things kind of happening. And the artist alley gets bigger. The stars that are coming get bigger.
The block gets bigger.
The block, which is my personal favorite area, gets bigger. It's just the fun little con, a fun con that's not as little as it used to be.
Oh no. Well, the thing is, with this con especially, we're staying in the adjacent hotel. So the convention center is attached to our hotel. So we park on Friday, and we don't.
Yeah, you don't.
We
have
don't
to
get
leave.
back in the car until Sunday when we're leaving.
Yeah, the only problem is the food situation's not so great.
I like that was in the fact that there's McDonald's right downstairs.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to eat McDonald's every day. Like,
homie, that's no different than any other day here. But no, overall, this con is just a lot of fun. I've never been to San Diego, but from what I hear, like with Hall H and all that other stuff going on, they say you might have to stand in line for hours just to get in. It's so crowded you can barely move. And New York is probably the same thing. But, people still have fun. But for me, C2E2 is something that we can get into the panels. It's not little, but at the same time, there aren't big reveals like there are at New York or San Diego.
It's a lot more... it's like a small con gone big, it's still like accessible. It's not like people aren't annoyed to be there, like the vendors and things like that. They kind of like they've been there for 2 or 3 days and they're just like, oh, I'm done with this. I don't want to be here anymore.
Well, I would say Cincinnati Expo was more of that Cinderella con story.
Yeah. But it's just it's still to the point where you can walk around, you can talk to people. People have time like to talk to you. If you go to Artist Alley, they have time to deal with you.
Yeah,
and you don't feel rushed, and it's still fun. It's still a lot of fun.
Yeah. Just here's a question on top of your head: what's your favorite convention story?
Favorite convention story?
Like, just any funny tidbit. One of my favorites is always the one we've talked about on the show, is the Age of Ultron one. But do you have any others that you've experienced in your years of going to conventions?
My favorite con story, I don't know. Like, my favorite con stories don't involve the cons. It's it's surrounding the con. Like, it's the trip, Yeah. But at the con, I would have to go with that Age of Ultron thing, because we thought for sure,
I still laugh when I think about it.
We thought for sure that that people were going to be like, oh, this story sucks.
I mean, like a cartoon, I was looking around like, what are you people doing? Stop kissing up to them.
No, this is the best story
Don't tell them this is okay.
I didn't know if you knew, but Age of Ultron is the best comic series I have ever read.
The hell is this guy talking about?
But it's the best.
They're making a movie based off it.
But the character that's in it can't be in the movie. I don't understand. I don't know. And we haven't even introduced Hank Pym, and he's the biggest part of the story too.
Yeah. Wow, I keep forgetting how much time travel was in that story.
Yeah, but
It wasn't an Age of Ultron. It was more like the Weekend of Ultron.
And it was like
that's the movie.
It was the Age of Ultron, but the story was all about Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine and the Invisible Woman going on a time traveling trip.
Yeah,
but no. So one of my favorite stories, both of them would include Jason David Frank, who is the green, white, black, red Ranger. Dang. He's been all of those Rangers at some point. But I met him at con, and it was really cool. We were standing in line. It was me, Addison, and my girlfriend at the time. And so we were geeking out, talking to the people behind us. And then his wife or girlfriend, it's his wife, made a comment that she was really hungry. And he's like, oh, okay, well, what do you want? And there were these hazelnuts or something that were on the other side of the convention center, and he said, okay, guys, whoever can get my wife these nuts can,
these nuts.
Yeah, I don't want to make that joke because he could easily punch my face out. But no, he made this comment that if someone could get her this food, they could get a free autograph and shirt. And I swim moved my girlfriend, pushed Addison out of the way, jumped the rope that was kept us in line, and took off sprinting with this heavy backpack on. And I looked so dumb because I'm getting rocked back and forth. I run off. Instead of buying like a cheap bag, I bought the most expensive bag of nuts. Brought it back, and he was really cool about it. Yeah. Made a comment like, "Oh, you're my hero, Anthony," and I was like, "You know my name now." But
I guess I do have one short story. It's always fun to go to the Rotten Tomatoes panel. Mm-hmm. They had one at C2E2, last year, and it's always funny to hear like somebody go up there and try to give them like the worst possible movie ever, and then like get them to give them their opinion on it. Like, and there's always some funny ones in there. Somebody tried to pull out, rate Star Wars Episode 3, and the guy's like, well, you had to pick the best one of the prequels, right? Like, why would you choose that one? Like, of all the ones, if you wanted me to give a bad review, why did you pick that one? That was the best one. Like, yeah, it's like, that's kind of fun. If you're at a con, that's always cool to check out those panels.
Mm-hmm. No, but my last one I'm going to say was when I was at Cincinnati Expo last year. I think you weren't with me last year, were you?
Yeah.
Okay, it was the year before. So the one year that you weren't with me.
Okay.
I went down by myself with my cousins, and we're walking out, and Jason David Frank was doing a demonstration. And so we're walking to leave because I have my little cousins with me, and they're tired, they're ready to go. And so we're walking out. I see Jason David Frank, and this is the dumb part. Instead of stopping to watch him do this demonstration where he punches he's going to punch through a wooden board and does this the noise he makes in Power Rangers. And instead of stopping to look, I turn my head, and a wall comes up and blocks my vision. And I turn, and I walk straight into a wall. Hit it so hard, I busted my nose. My nose started to bleed. And I think about it, and it's not even that funny. It was just annoying. Like, I wanted to see him punch a board, and I couldn't do it.
I thought you were going to say the wall, like he like punched a wall, like a foam wall or something. It fell on
that'd
you.
Be really cool.
I thought that's what was happening because you're like, and a wall came in my vision.
Well, no, he was getting ready to punch through a board, and I wasn't paying attention. I ended up walking into a wall.
Well,
a pillar.
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you just
maybe it was a funnier thing to see than to. Hear.
The worst part about the story is you were sober. That is the worst part of the story.
Yeah, it was.
Because if you would have ran into like a wall and you were drunk, fair.
I made a fool out of myself when I met him. I mean, I went to the whole like, oh my gosh, you are my hero growing up, and then
this is like the most standard like I've met my idol nerd conversation I've ever heard.
Same thing when I met Walter Jones, who was the Black Ranger from the original Power Rangers. Really cool guy. We talked for a second, and when I took the picture with him, he gave me a Mastodon morpher, and he's like, okay, on 3, just yell, it's morphin' time, and I was like, okay. He's like, you gotta yell it, you gotta be passionate about it, and I was like, okay. But granted, this guy was really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, Jason David Frank was cool, but he was also tired.
Yeah.
Walter Jones was like still like going with it, like he stood up with you, but anyway, so he was like, okay, 1, 2, 3, and I yelled, it's morphin' time, and he looks over and like, I didn't think you were actually going to do it. But
he's like, oh man, a 23-year-old kid just just jumped up and was like, it's morphin' time.
But no, Walter Jones was a pretty cool dude. But yeah, so we're just going to look forward to to this year's C2E2. We have a couple people who are coming this year as special guests. A couple which I want to point out are some YouTubers, which would be the Comic Story, which we talk about a lot on this show.
Yeah, we should probably try to meet him.
No, I really want to meet him. I didn't see because I don't think they're posting panels yet, but I had to assume that he's going to have a panel or something, and he'll end up maybe reading something or doing something out loud for everybody. Comics Explained will be, or the Comics Explained channel will be there,
which they're also really good.
There's Commander Holly and Strawberry 17. I don't know the last two. I just
Strawberry.
What is it? Strawberry?
Strawberry.
Strawberry 17.
Yeah. We don't really know her or him.
It's a her.
Okay.
It's a her.
But she's going to be there. And
yeah,
she's
I saw two of their names. People were really excited. Literally, Comic Story is the one I'm really excited to see. I'm going to subscribe to these other three.
We can obviously assume that those two that we don't know are obviously bigger than we are because they're featured.
I can assume there are a lot of people who are bigger than we are. But no, also people to look out for with Austin St. John, since I'm also going through I'm trying to meet all of the original Power Rangers except for obviously Trini.
I was good luck.
Yeah, so Austin St. John will be there. He's the Red Ranger. Cloney Bennett is she's on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She plays Sky, who then ended up being Daisy and is now considered Quake. So she has three names. Her name is Karen. Excuse me. Karen Ashley was the Yellow Ranger, second Yellow Ranger.
Yeah, she was the one that replaced Trini, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we're also gonna get. And I'm gonna mess your name up, man. It was I cannot say his name. It's Kellyanne Longsdale.
Yeah, we totally butchered that. So
yeah,
don't throw tomatoes at a shit.
He plays Wally West in The Flash.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. Shoot, I forgot you're not up to date with Flash.
Yeah,
yet.
but I know who Wally West is, and
I
know,
like him.
Well, and I know what they're kind of trying to do with this.
Yeah, well, so. I'm excited to meet him, but just because I want to say this, I was really mad, and I will not like this character because this is the one character I could have been. No. Let's be honest. I look like I could be in that family. I would have loved to call Jesse Martin my dad. Like on set, I'd be like, "Hey, Dad," and he'd be like, "Hey, man, it's Jesse." You just gonna be no, I'm gonna call you Dad.
Man, Anthony, you really need to get yourself an agent because you missed out on this opportunity.
I really did
to be a character in a comic related TV show.
I could have been Kid Flash.
Kid Flash.
But no, and then also we have Melissa. God, I cannot say people's last names today.
Bennett.
Anyway, it's Supergirl.
We're butchering.
Yeah, I'm everyone. If you listen to the last couple podcasts,
we suck at names.
Well, I suck really bad at names. Anyway, but no, Melissa is Supergirl on the new series Supergirl, who will be having an episode coming up this season where she is crossing over with Flash. That's been the big news lately.
And then, as far as panels, the only one I've seen so far that caught my eye was there's one coming out it's called The Future of the Hellboy and the basically his universe, which will be on at 1:30 on Saturday, March 19th. And the creators of Hellboy are going to be there to talk about where this character's going. Maybe we'll get some news about the trilogy.
No, that'd be really cool.
No,
see, the thing
maybe
is,
not. I don't know. I mean, everybody knows that movie's kind of hanging out there in the wind.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it will either.
I want it to. Don't get me wrong. I love the Hellboy movies.
But maybe we'll be there and we'll get some content about the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be cool. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just get some.
Would be nice.
Maybe we'll just get something about the comic series, which is also perfectly good and fine with me.
Yeah.
So we'll probably check that one out.
Yes. But so we'll keep updating it. I didn't even know they had panels out yet.
I mean,
normally they wait till like the last minute to post.
Well,
anything.
they've been sharing some stuff. I saw there's I believe it's a Sailor Moon panel as well. Some of the voices from the show are going to be there, but most of the stuff I have seen has been via press releases. Since I have the press pass, so it's like they send me all these press releases. So, but the Hellboy one, I'm kind of excited for that one. I mean, I like the character, I like the stories. I enjoyed the movies. I would like to see it continue on. I mean, obviously those movies came out at a time when comic movies were, people were paying attention, but they weren't the mega blockbusters that they are today.
Yeah. Have you seen any of the the Hellboy animated movies?
I have not.
Okay. Well, eventually we were going to mention stuff that we have upcoming for Token Nerd, one of which we'll be talking about a review recap show. And that's something we should talk about. We should definitely do a review of the anime movies because not a lot of people know they're out there, and they're really, really good.
Yeah. I mean, he's a character that I find him pretty interesting. I think it's an interesting storyline. The comics are done well, and they've obviously got longevity. I think it's over, is it 20 or 25 years now? Something like that.
Yeah.
Last year was his anniversary, I believe. So it's just a character that it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So it should be a fun panel.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, now that we've, we're going to keep bringing you more C2E2 news as we get closer. I mean, we got another episode or so before we get there. So I guess now we'll move on to movie news for the March.
Oh, no.
Well, not movie news, but just like March movie news.
Yes.
It's like March Madness, but movies.
Yep. Like we mentioned already, it's the beginning of the month. And so with the beginning of the month, we have a new set of movies coming out. Granted, there are several movies hitting theaters this month, but we're just going to mention a couple that caught our eye that I personally I'm going to see. First of all, Batman v Superman. That's the '1 movie, not only of March, but probably of 2016 for me at least.
I've never heard of it.
Shut up. No, but very excited. Batman v Superman, March 25th. London Has Fallen. I didn't think I really wanted this movie until.
But you got it.
Huh?
But you got it.
Oh, I really, yeah. One, because there was this stupid scene between Gerard Butler and Two-Face. I don't know what his real name is. I have to call him Two-Face. But Two-Face from Batman: The Dark Knight is the president. And he makes some kind of joke like running Mr. President, or they're jogging. And I don't know. I kind of want to see like a buddy. It's not a buddy cop film, but it's like they have to survive London as this gigantic terrorist attack. They're getting hunted down.
When you first said a buddy cop movie, I was like, oh, this must be like Dumb and Dumber, but a cop movie. And then you said, as a terrorist attack happens. I'm like, wow, it's not a buddy movie. Like,
no, but I like the chemistry. So, I've just the funny thing is I didn't see, is it Olympus Has Fallen? I did not see that.
Yeah.
I just watched CinemaSins of it, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." So I ended up watching it myself, and I really liked it. So I'm looking forward to that. That comes out March 4th. Also on March 4th, we're gonna get Zootopia,
which that preview. I mean, if they blew every funny bit in that movie in the preview,
oh yeah,
I don't know, but that preview, I literally died laughing. Yes.
Oh, so did I. No. There's one clip that they show that I die laughing every single time. They're at a nudist colony. But let me just give you a little heads up. So Zootopia, basically a city area where animals live in peace. And there's a lot of social issues to this one because they make racial slurs to each other. There's one point where they say they don't trust because you're a fox.
Sloths are slow.
Sloths are slow.
I feel like that's an obvious thing.
Yeah, but in general, it's playing on something there.
Yeah.
I think there's something deeper.
Well,
but one of the scenes I wanted to talk about was there's a nudist colony where all the animals are obviously naked. Because in this world,
always naked?
For us they are. In this world they wear clothes. But there's one scene where there's like two giraffes playing volleyball with some smaller animal, and they serve it, and the giraffe, you see its hand swat it down, and it's so immediate. It was really funny.
Yeah.
But no, I'm really excited to see Zootopia. It's the next Disney movie that comes since Big Hero 6.
Yeah, and I mean, the reviews seem to be skyrocketing in there. Everything I've heard people talking about, I mean, they're making some bold statements there in the latest trailer that I saw. They're saying some critic said that this is the best animated movie Disney has made in over 20 years.
Wow.
So if that's the case, I mean, this is going to be one to see for sure.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. We also have Boy and the Beast. It's an animated feature that's coming out. It's just being dubbed. I've only seen a little bit about it, but with animated film, especially with an anime style film, I really want to stay in the dark about it. I know it's like a boy falls into the world of beasts, and this warrior beast takes him under his wing as an apprentice.
Yeah.
But that's all I want to know about this one, because I really want to be surprised by it.
So this is your Star Wars, like when I wanted to stay out of the news of everything?
Yeah, but I'm usually like that with a lot of like anime to dub.
Yeah, because I mean they just end up ruining it. You know? If you know too much about it going into it, you're not going to.
We're also getting a Psycho Pass movie, but that's on the side. Anyway, also we'll have 10 Cloverfield Lane. That's coming out March 11th.
Yes.
We'll be definitely having a review of that one. Oh, granted, we're probably going to have a review of all these movies once we go see them. And finally, the Brothers Grimsby, which is coming out March 11th as well. That was the one that showed up at the end of, or in the Deadpool trailers.
Yeah. That one looked pretty good.
It looked funny, but I don't like the guy. He's the one from Bruno and Borat. That's the actor.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of him, but they
had
that.
Wait, is that this? Oh God, yeah, that one looked. I didn't like that one.
Okay,
I thought this was something different.
No,
this is the one with the guy Ali G, Borat. You know, that whole guy. Yeah.
And he goes and finds his brother.
Yeah. No.
And he finds a gun. He starts shooting things. He's like, it totally distracts you from what you're actually doing.
I feel like that movie is definitely a checkout. Like, okay, well, I just want to watch something on TV right now. And this is on, so I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I'm not gonna.
It didn't do it for me, but it's probably. I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, it's probably.
And I'm really not. It just looked really funny, and I don't know. I'm trying to.
You're trying to branch out, get out of the superhero thing for a little while.
A little bit.
Try to do some acting, drama.
Yeah.
Get a little.
This is everything but drama. But yeah, so definitely take a look out for those movies that are coming out in March. And there's so many more, but those are just the ones that caught our eye. Let's move on to the actual the news of the week from last Wednesday to this Wednesday. Well, this is posting on. No, this will be posting on Wednesday. Normally post on Thursdays.
And we're going to get this up tonight.
Oh, we're getting it tonight.
Yeah, because we got breaking news.
All right. The first thing we'll have in movie news is the Power Rangers plot details released. As you know, and we've mentioned a little bit before about Power Rangers, but Lionsgate, they were talking about making this, a little bit PG-13, a little darker Power Ranger movie, not like the one that was released online, Power Dash Rangers, which was bonkers.
Well, wait. Let me guess. They saw the success of Deadpool and they decided to make it rated R?
Oh, yeah, you got it. Power R Rangers.
Power Rangers with a capital R.
It's really big. No, but they announced that, their Power Rangers are going to come out. They've got the official synopsis out, which I'm going to read for you. But yeah, it's moving forward. This is the movie I really don't think we should have. But I'm willing to be wrong. I was wrong about Deadpool.
I mean, it's a movie. It's a franchise that somehow has managed to survive for over 20 years. So I mean, how long has it been since the last movie? It's been a while. So
the last one that was in theaters was Power Ranger Turbo.
Yeah. So I mean, think about
5.
Yeah, it was probably like 97, 98, somewhere in there.
Something like that. No, because I remember a casual movie fan who guest starred with us that when we were younger, after seeing Power Ranger Turbo, my parents were started the car. He got in the driver's seat and floored it because there was a kid who drove a car in that movie, and he could do it too.
He was like, I'm like that little boy that's in the movie.
So our mom's minivan, he got in the car and floored it, and my dad leaped into the front seat, stopped the car within a minute. It was really funny.
But I mean, it's been a while. It's and the thing about it is, so like a lot of these movies that have been successful over the past 10 years or so, or a lot of them are properties that were popular. Kind of with I would say the 30 plus, 35 plus age group. Yeah. And now guess what, kids? If you grew up watching Power Rangers, we're about to turn 30, 30-ish. And so now Hollywood's trying to tap into those people. We're going to reboot these properties that were popular in the early 90s throughout. And it's time for that nostalgia to hit because, kind of when you get to your mid 20s, you hit that point where you're like, oh yeah, I remember that thing when we were kids, and then they come out with something, and you're like, oh man, I want to really do that, or I want to really see that, or I want to buy that, and it's the perfect time.
Yeah.
So, I guess we'll continue on here with the synopsis. If you want me to read this, or
go for it.
It doesn't matter. But Power Rangers follows 5 ordinary high school kids who must become something extraordinary when they learn that their small town of Angel Grove and the world.
Yeah,
I love how they just threw that in there. When was the last? I mean, Power Rangers OG. When did they leave Angel Grove to do much of anything?
My question is, why would you want to live in Angel Grove? Bad things happened every day at 4:00.
So basically, as this synopsis continues, I'll start with, and the world is on the verge of being obliterated by an alien threat. Chosen by destiny, our heroes quickly discover that they are the only ones who can save the planet. But to do so, they will have to overcome their real-life issues and band together as Power Rangers before it's too late. What do you think?
I was in.
Oh yeah. I've
gonna say
got
right
some
away.
surprise toys news for you too. That's Power Rangers related. I don't think you've seen this one.
That's a segment away.
Yeah, I mean I know, but I'm just saying it's a little preview for you because you're going to get excited. But
I'll lay it on me.
No, we got to leave it in toy news.
Oh, what a tease you are.
Yeah, toy news. So, I mean, what do you think of the synopsis here? I mean, it doesn't really tell us anything. We already knew all this.
No, it's the basic idea. I mean, it's just like, Harry Potter's a story about a wizarding boy. No.
Never
we
heard
knew
of
what
it.
this was going to be about. I was hoping for a little bit bigger news, something maybe along the lines of Zordon.
Ivan Ooze.
No, we're not there yet. That'd be kind of cool. No. This one, it's vague, so I don't really have a judgment of it because it's nothing interesting. It just proves that this is actually going forward. And we're casted with Rita Repulsa. So this movie, in my mind, is just the stepping stone to get to a Lord Zed movie.
They pushed it though. It was in January, right? It's on our show notes, folks. It says now it's opening March 24th, 2017.
Mm-hmm.
It was January.
Yeah,
so they pushed it. I believe I saw news they started filming as well. Some of the early stuff. They're not very far. It was like 2 to 3 days ago, but. So, I mean, they're working on it. I mean, we don't really know any of these actors or actresses.
No.
Except for Rita.
Rita.
She's from the Hunger Games, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Elizabeth Banks.
I mean, go for it. I mean, right now, like I said in the last podcast, until somebody has a bad one, do whatever you want to do. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Because as long as you're tapping into that nostalgia and you're doing it well, you're gonna sell buku tickets. I mean, that's just kind of.
Oh, I just thought about it. So this movie, it's going to be it's a trilogy.
Power Rangers Turbo.
No. Unfortunately, we're not gonna get to those.
Zeo.
Oh, Zeo would be cool. But
Zeo would be cool.
We're gonna start with this movie where they fight Rita Repulsa. The next movie will be
Zed.
Rise of the Green Ranger, and it'll be all about Rita coming back with Tommy and trying to take down with the Dragon Zord. And the last one will be Lord Zed coming in, building Serpentera. And then the Power Rangers banding together to destroy. Because in the show, they never they stopped editing and making American episodes.
They ran out of footage.
Yeah, they ran out of footage, but they never did anything with Serpentera. So in a sense, just like the Dragon Zord is technically at the bottom of Angel Grove Bay, and Serpentera is on the moon, right?
Well, I don't know. I believe that it got moved at some point, right? Didn't it come back in the later series?
They went to fight. They're fighting the Red Ranger. For some reason, he was by himself. This is off on a tangent.
We are down in the deep delves of the Power Ranger universe.
After this, we're going on Netflix, and we're going to watch the crap out of these episodes.
I recently, probably like the last 6 months or so, I watched all the way through Space. Is that not?
Space was really good. Space was one of my favorite.
I skipped a bunch of Turbo though. I couldn't watch that shit.
Ah, really?
That's the first time I've ever cussed on this show too.
Pizza guy?
That's the first time I ever cussed on our podcast, but that was some shit.
That was no longer family friendly. I said friendly family.
We're gonna get that big explicit E on it now.
Yeah, but like we said, just keep an eye out for this movie.
March 24th,
2017.
Yeah.
We're bound to get more footage. I mean, that's the only way up from here, unless they cancel it.
Well, like you're talking about with these trilogies, let's not get too excited here, Lionsgate. Let's make sure that it sells some tickets on the first one there.
Yeah, but speaking of canceling, remember that Gambit movie that everyone was so excited for?
Yeah, man, I was excited about this one too.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, buddy. It got pushed.
So here's the question.
Yes.
Did Channing Tatum say I can't do it? Do we know?
No, he was saying that he was for it, but there were so many. They were going through directors, timing, conflict. This just wasn't a good idea.
Well, wait. Also, though, we gotta think that Marvel Fox World is coming off the success of a movie.
Of Deadpool.
Yeah, I mean, they're coming off the super success of a movie, and maybe they're looking at it like, we came in with Gambit and we had these ideas, and we got a star actor, somebody that everybody knows that wants to play Gambit.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a chance here to make a good movie. Maybe we need to go back and look at what we did, because this is in the vein of X2 or X3.
Yeah, but
X3
and I would get that, but that would be if you were all right. So it's 2016 right now. Next year is 2017. And then 2018, and there's no date for Gambit. That's 2 years away.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not like it's not like Marvel and Disney aren't planning movies 16 years in advance. But I'm saying that with this movie, it's not like Deadpool.
Yeah.
Deadpool was a lucky thing.
Yeah.
But I think this is all based on the idea that Marvel and Fox are going to do more work together because I think they're really happy with what's going to happen with Spider-Man.
Yeah. I mean,
no, that's Sony.
That's Sony. Yeah.
Never mind.
I mean, we've had this conversation before where we do not believe that X-Men universe will be tied to Marvel, Disney Marvel universe anytime soon. We've had this. We see that the fact that, you know, maybe Fantastic Four, yeah, that didn't really worked out. We'll give you that. But, you know, Fox is going to hold on to X-Men.
Yeah.
And I really think this is, you know, we kind of came in half cocked on this Gambit movie and, you know, we tried, but, you know, Deadpool set the bar higher for us. So we got to go back and relook at what we've done. If this movie was really supposed to come out in October of 2016, which is like they're saying, they're already filming. They've already filmed. They're in production. They're doing stuff. So that tells me that they're either updating things, going back, filming some more stuff, changing some storyline, maybe to make it better. I mean, but they were working on it and they were far down the line if they were planning for October 7th of 2016. Mm-hmm. So something tells me that something changed. And I'm saying that it's Deadpool set the bar higher for their movies in the Fox Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Or maybe when they're building the Gambit movie, they didn't really think about something.
I think it's a lot of they weren't.
What if they're going to do this? Gambit with Deadpool?
No.
It could happen. They're in the same universe.
They're not gonna waste it. Deadpool will be more linked to their rated R realm.
Yeah.
Like they'll have realms. Just like I doubt we'll ever see any of the Netflix heroes interact with our movie heroes. It's the same universe, but I doubt we'll ever see them interact.
Yeah.
Just like this.
Their news, by the way, is that Gambit. Sorry, we're talking about Gambit. Wolverine 3.
Oh, I heard.
Rated R. Yeah. Hard R.
And it's gonna be a Old Man Logan.
That's what everybody kind of thinks, or at least from the rumors.
Let's do another. Depending on how this is gonna go, this is another future story. Didn't we learn something about doing time traveling? Didn't we just go back in time to reset all the mistakes that Fox has made?
But Old Man Logan could be fun. It could be.
No,
done correctly.
It's just okay. You know, I don't even want to argue about this because I'm not saying it's a bad comic, but it's an apocalyptic story. It's what happens if everything goes bad.
Yeah, but see, like they gotta. And we've had this Hugh Jackman conversation a little bit before. They've got to do something because he's gone. So he's saying this is it. So they got to figure out a way to kill Wolverine, which they can't do because you can't kill Wolverine. Like, except for
they figured it out in Age of Ultron.
He killed himself.
Yeah, right? That's how he's gonna do it. These movies suck.
Well, they gotta figure out a way to kind of end that era of Wolverine.
Yeah.
And Old Man Logan's a good way to do it. I mean, because isn't he's technically Old Man Logan right now, right? In the Marvel universe, in the comics. Last time I read, he is the Old Man Logan.
Something like that.
And so the death of Wolverine, he like killed himself.
It was a good story. No, he got
he turns into Old Man Logan, essentially.
I'll be honest, I don't read Marvel comics.
They took away his
adamantium. Right. Healing factor.
His healing factor, so that he would start aging. He doesn't actually die, does he?
But spoiler alert, and for those of you who are interested in Old Man Logan and the death of Wolverine, head over to Comic Storian.
Yeah, but
he covered these stories. But no, at the end of Death of Wolverine is he gets covered with adamantium and he smothers.
Oh.
And so it hardens on him and he just like falls and he's covered in adamantium and he dies there. It's a really sad story, but it's also a good way to end it. Yeah. I haven't read Old Man Logan, so but I know Comic Storian did a...
They talk about, in Old Man Logan, they talk about the death of Wolverine. And essentially, he just ends up turning into Old Man Logan is what I gathered from that. So I maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I'll have to look. It's on Comic Storian.
It's a fun... It was good. I mean, I think done correctly, Old Man Logan could work. Rated R, rated not, I don't care. Mm-hmm. Essentially, I think you're going to see him chopping up more people with his blades or something. I don't know what else you could do to make a movie rated R. He might say like a cuss word here and there, but you never know. I mean, it's one of those things. So
let's just pull a Fox and drop Gambit for now. So let's move on to some Fantastic Beasts, which I spelled best in our show notes. Fantastic beasts and where to find them. J.K. Rowling on Twitter had gone out because she is writing. She is I forget if she's just writing or consulting for this.
She's just printing money. That's all she's doing.
Nah, basically. But no. So she went out and just said, hey, for the new Fantastic Beasts and where to find them, this will be a trilogy. We weren't sure. We thought this was going to be a one-shot.
Printing money.
Yeah.
That's all she's doing.
I think it was John Campia had made the reference that she just got tired of the fact that every morning, she's used to that dump truck pulling up to her back door and just dumping money out, and she just wanted that again.
Well, why don't she just write another book about something?
Wrote the play, but that also kind of goes into the notes that we've gotten. So we now know that it's going to be a trilogy, and we also found out that what's it called? The Harry Potter: The Cursed Child, that was the play that everyone got mad about with Black Hermione. It will not be turned into a film. Oh, no. Sorry. Yeah, she squashed the rumors because everyone kept saying, oh, it's going to be turned to a film. And she said, no, it's just going to be a play for now until she's like,
I need a dump truck full of money.
Yeah.
Seriously, they've created a world in the Harry Potter world where there's humongous depth that we only heard one section of story. It's almost like Star Wars where we only heard one story about a guy.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of stuff they can tell the stories about.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so, back the dump truck up because there's kids that are obsessed with this because it's a world that grows and these kids grew up with it. I am personally not, into Harry Potter. It's not, I was a little too old. I feel like, I just never got into it type thing. The movies never interested me or any of that kind of stuff. But I just see when we go to conventions, we go to, wherever you go, you always see Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah.
Similar to how when you see people my age or a little older and they got a Star Wars t-shirt on, it's the same thing. People are just obsessed with that.
Yeah.
That whole mythology.
No. What I was going to say is, like you said, Harry Potter's very much like Star Wars. It's a huge world, huge universe. And this is also going to take place in New York. It's going to follow Newt Salamander. Or sorry. I always want to say it's Newt.
Newt.
No, it is Newt. See,
yeah, it is Newt.
Me and the casual movie fan were talking. He keeps saying Nat, but it's Newt Salamander.
How does he get Nat out of NEWT?
It's Addison. He does stuff like that. But no. So in that realm, he is the author of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which is reading literature that students at Hogwarts have to read.
Yeah.
And this is going to take, I think, 90 years or 70 years before the beginning of the Harry Potter series. And that's going to be cool. It's taking place in another part of the world.
Yep.
And I'm hoping it's not going to make any reference towards Voldemort because he shouldn't even be alive yet. They might reference Dumbledore or the Dumbledore family, maybe the Black family at some point. But
Harry Potter's parents, maybe?
No,
too young?
Too young.
Okay. My thing with this is almost like with Rogue One. We take a sentence out of a movie and we turn it into something. We turn it into another movie. It's a similar situation. So it really is. They can do whatever they want as long as they don't screw with the mythology of the story.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So we're going back in time. I'd have liked something that was a little bit more current because I think the way she said it is that the last Harry Potter book, 7, took place in 1997. I think that's how it's supposed to work.
Oh, okay.
Or something along those lines. Anyway, but I would have liked something that would have moved the story forward or that universe forward. But
you just got to be careful moving it forward just because of how people care about those characters. Maybe it's too soon to go forward. Maybe it's time to go back. And really get your A game going for forward.
Yeah, but so I don't think you're gonna be as excited when the casual movie fan had pitched me his idea of what this prequel series should have been. And it should have followed the founders of Hogwarts. So Godric Gryffindor, Salazar Slytherin, Hufflepuff, and whoever Ravenclaw was. But the 4 of them, and it followed their story and how they became the founders and how they created Hogwarts.
I figured it was going.
Ooh, it could have been called the Harry Potter Hogwarts of History. Got it.
I was thinking you were going to say it was going to be about Harry Potter's parents and how one of them was also Immaculate Conception, and then they had a kid and they weren't supposed to, and then there was actually a twin. I think I've heard this movie before.
Yeah, somewhere.
But I thought that's what you were going to say, that the trilogy should have been. But here's my question. Is this going to be like, did we just make it a trilogy to make it a trilogy? Is this The Hobbit? Like, like.
Well, we're The Hobbit. I mean, we're making a movie about, I mean, I literally got this book from Scholastic Book Fair when I was in 6th grade, where it's just a list.
Yeah, Jenny has it. My girlfriend has it. It's very small. I've seen it. The book, But like, I mean, it's not about the book though. It's about what inspired the book, right?
Yeah. And that's a good idea because it's still original.
Yeah,
it's still an original story.
Still original. So I mean, again, print the money. It's going to sell. It's going to make.
And it's going to make tons of money. I mean, I can already think of 150 people right now who are going to go see this movie.
So our next little piece here is almost like TV and movie news had a baby. Really, I mean, we've got the Batman versus Superman clip.
Oh yeah,
and it's like a baby.
It is like a baby. Gotta nurture it. No, and I kept saying we were going to talk about the Oscars, but I'm not going to delve.
Mad Max, go.
We're not going to delve into it. So anyway, but during Jimmy Kimmel, who I'll ask you your opinion real quick. Who do you think is funnier, Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon?
Stephen Colbert. No, I like Jimmy Kimmel. I like them all, actually. I mean,
I'm not
all
saying
so funny.
Hate, who you like the most.
No, I mean, it really just depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah. Well, for me,
Jimmy Fallon, it's the skits and all that kind of stuff really pulls me in. Monologue stuff. Kimmel's got some good job, and he also gets like really cool guests. I feel like.
And he's broken all the trailers. He broke the Civil War trailer and the Batman v Superman trailer. Yeah. But that's what he did during the post-Oscar special show. He had Ben Affleck, who, for those of you, a couple years ago, were online with their, no Batflack and, all their hate posts and all that junk. But anyway, so he had him on there, and they did a little skit called the Batman v Superman deleted scene. And that kind of gave us a little bit of info. For those of you who haven't seen it, we'll have a link down in the description down below. But it's basically the scene that we saw in the trailer where Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent meet each other at some kind of gala. And they kind of have their little back and forth. And, then Lex Luthor walks up and talks to him. But in this clip, you see Jimmy Kimmel walk past them several times. And then he goes, "Oh, I know you." And basically he figures out who they are. Batman takes a picture of him and he holds the phone over his face and he says, "Oh, you're Batman." And so he calls him out.
I like the Superman one because he just points out what everybody's like. I mean, he has glasses.
Yeah. But no, it was a really funny, cute skit. But it kind of showed us a little bit more into that scene, which now we can assume that this is when Batman or Clark Kent and Superman know who the other person is.
Yeah.
They know that that's Batman. They know that's Superman. That's like their threatening. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's like standoff. I'm saying I know who you are without saying I know who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the cool standoff. So that's what I'm assuming we're going to get from that just for that little clip. And then after that, they showed a clip from the movie. And at this point, like we said, the movie's coming out March 25th, so we're right on the heels.
Yeah, like I'm to the point where don't show me anything else.
No. But this clip was pretty freaking cool. It was Superman throwing Batman through a building and then catching him and throwing him through the bat.
Not only Batman, armored Batman.
Armored Batman, thank you. But armored Batman looks awesome. Anyway, so throws him into this wall, and that's when he goes, end it. I could what was it? I could end this if I wanted to, or kill you if I wanted to.
Yep.
And then Batman pulls out a smoke grenade, and I know a lot of people have been asking, so why can't Superman see through the smoke? Also, I have a little theory that goes along with that. It's noticed that when the clips that we've seen, Batman is winning when it's raining. So I'm wondering if Lex Luthor teams up with Batman, like manipulates him and says, "Hey, we figured out how to make this like weather phenomena. So, like as it's raining, it makes Superman weaker."
Wait, what if there's like some mind control? Like it's not really Batman versus Superman. It's Superman versus mind controlled Batman.
I mean, it's not even mind control. I'm just wondering how Batman's strong enough to fight him. Is my thing. So it's making Superman weaker, or there's a point because he makes the smoke grenade. Superman flies through it, and then Batman does his Batman thing, disappears, and shows up behind him. and then shoots some kind of missile bullet at him.
Yeah, some sort of thing.
And he catches it, and that's when the clip ends. So I'm assuming he might catch it, and it explodes and has kryptonite in it. And that's what makes him weaker. And then Batman just goes to town on Superman. But
who knows? We'll find out. Yeah.
Oh, Jinx, you owe me a soda.
Really? I mean, it's one of those things that like we all thought we knew what Star Wars was going to be and all these. We'll find out when we get there. We can sit here and speculate. This is not Terminator Genesis, where they told us exactly what was going to happen in the trailer. So like, and I like it that way. So let's keep it that way, Hollywood.
Yeah. So let's move on to TV news. We've been we spent 45 minutes just covering movies.
C2E2 though. We had C2E2.
Oh, we had C2E2. That's true. But we'll quickly go through a couple of these. If you guys remember the Disney movie Big Hero 6, which was a Marvel title that Disney had, and it was an animated feature based on the Big Hero 6 comic. Well, there have been rumors that we were getting ready to have Big Hero 7, which was the nickname they gave the next movie. We've been actually waiting because this was a given. It won an Oscar for Best Animated Short or Best Animated Film in 2013?
Something like that.
14. We
should have looked that up.
We really should have. I don't remember.
It won 1 year. It was pretty good.
Anyways, that wasn't last year, so it had been 13.
Okay, it's one of those years. Okay.
Anywho, but Disney had announced that we are going to get a Big Hero 6 animated series on Disney XD that will pick up right after the movie, and it will feature Hero, Baymax, and the rest of the Big Hero 6, Honey Lemon, Go-Go, Wasabi, Fred, and it's just going to be them about how they're going to deal with their daily lives. Yeah. This is going to be led by the creator of Kim Possible, which was, I think his name is Mark McCorkey.
Okay.
Corkle. And Bob Schooley. And they, Kim Possible was a great show that was on Disney back when we were growing up. Well, I was growing up and you were an adult.
I was old.
but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think a TV series works well for that.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a good transition. I think it's a better way for, if they do it correctly, it's a better way for this to have a longevity that it may have lost, in like 3 or 4 years in a movie. That it takes to make a movie, obviously.
Yeah. I just feel like with Kim Possible, I want this to be a series that has an ongoing plot. But
not like shorts.
Yeah, not shorts. Kim Possible was a bunch of shorts, and I guess it had sometimes an overarching
like mythology
story. Yeah. But no, I think because my big complaint with Big Hero 6 was the fact that it felt really rushed to me. And I think with a series, we could get a little bit more story and development out of the characters.
When you said it was a comic book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
but it's loosely based.
Yeah,
very loosely.
But what I'm saying is that if there are stories they can pull from comics, comics make better TV shows, and generally.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
But yeah, so definitely take a look for that. They said to look out for Big Hero 6, the animated series, sometime in 2017.
Yep.
But unfortunately, folks, that is it for TV news.
Yeah, we didn't have a whole lot this week.
And we also didn't have any comic book news. We also didn't have any game news. But as always,
there's toy news.
We got some toy news. No, so one of the big things that they had talked about at Toy Fair 2016 was Funko's next big thing, and it's not pop figures, it's not Dorbs, and it's not the other
50,000 things they have.
Yeah, it is my Mojis.
My Mojis bring all the boys to the yard.
They're like some dun dun. Anyway, so my Mojis look just like emojis. They have the emoji faces, but instead they carry superhero themes. I've been expecting this to happen for a long time. Basically, they come in like a little mystery pack. You get a blind set, and you open it up and you get digital downloads. So you can download the little figure faces because they look just like emojis. You have the winking face, you have the frowning face, and they even have because the one I saw, the official ones were a bunch of My Little Pony, and they had some TMNT, but obviously the one that caught my eye were the Batman. There were Batmans. We had Catwoman, Joker, Cyborg.
Ooh.
Yeah, Cyborg was the big one. And Robin. It looked like they were all.
Did we say Penguin?
Penguin, yeah. because we were laughing because we looked at him and we're like, how will we know it was Penguin?
Yeah.
The top hat.
It's a guy in a top hat. It is not Penguin at all. I had to literally look at it and say, is that Penguin? That is not a good job as making a toy.
Yeah, but I think it's actually a really cool feature that you can download them.
Yeah. So they come 3 to a pack, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool for $3.99. That's not bad.
No, not bad at all.
Yeah. It'd be really cool if they would have made them like where you can put them on like your antenna on your car too.
Oh yeah.
Like an antenna topper.
Yeah.
Because like obviously you guys can't see them, but they're like a little round ball, so they're like perfect for an antenna topper.
But I honestly think that you and I should put some stock into
buying some and opening them.
Because I mean I'm putting enough money into Funko.
You want to put some stock into the company?
I want to invest in Funko, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if they're a private company or not, but we could find out.
We really should look that up. Anyway.
So,
but no, that's sorry. Go ahead.
Continuing on the Funko brigade here, we've got Arrow and Flash second wave pop figures.
Pop figures.
So, looks like Funko has revealed some images.
Well, the thing is, they were in this. From what I'm reading, they were in the catalog that was given out at Toy Fair catalog, and it just, I mean, I didn't hear anything about the second wave until recently.
Well, it's probably because they just didn't have them on display. Okay. So people had to look through the books. They may not have them in hand yet, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I've seen is concept art, but we have, it looks like Oliver Queen in the Green Arrow suit. So it's the one with the short sleeves and the shoulder pads. And then we'll also have Speedy, which will be, Thea when she took over Arsenal's role.
Yep.
So, I mean, it looks really cool. I was really hoping that we get a Roy Arsenal figure before we got a Speedy, and maybe a Diggle.
He did kind of get the shaft, didn't he?
I mean, I expected the second wave to really have more characters, but anyway, I mean, it's bound to happen. They're bound to keep adding it. So anyway, we'll have Green Arrow and Speedy, and then also on the Flash side, they have revealed that they will be giving out a Zoom. Now, the image of Zoom that we're seeing is a solid black image, and as you guys know, Zoom in the second season of Flash is covered in black, but he also has a little bit of blue.
It could just be they don't have the final color.
Yeah, I mean that's probably it.
Out, so they might have just made it kind of blacked out with like a ghost image, just so or that could be like a exclusive somewhere or something too.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But it looks really cool. Keep an eye out for that because as soon as they come out, we're definitely going to get them. But we'll use this to segue, and I just want to point out that this next bit of news technically has possible spoilers in it, so just be aware.
Yeah.
The Captain America Civil War Lego set.
Spoiler.
Yeah, they're all Legos. No, a couple months ago they were talking about when Star Wars was coming out. There was a big thing about Toilers, which were obviously toys that were spoiling the movie. In this case, there was a Lego set that they had shown, and it had a Giant Man, which, as you know, when Ant-Man grows, he becomes Giant Man.
Yeah.
And in there, you see a set where it looks like the airport. Yep. And in the trailer, we see the heroes facing off with each other in an airport area, and that's where you see Giant Man show up.
I mean, if you watched Ant-Man, you knew Giant Man was coming. I mean, we just didn't know when. So, I mean, I feel like it's a spoiler, but it's not a spoiler.
Yeah, but there's also, and we had talked about it recently, and I guess we missed it as it did come out. There was a Giant Man pop figure because we were joking like, why isn't there a large pop figure version? And there will be a Giant Man 6-inch Funko pop figure, and they even have the Dorbs figure, which is going to be 6 inches as well. I didn't know Dorbs came that big.
They have a big Dorbs. I didn't even know they did that.
And I don't want to collect Dorbs. I really don't.
Wait, I
mean, I might have to.
But if you get the pop figure, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, heck, they might come with the next collector core box.
Yep. So.
That's the next one. The next collector core box is Civil War.
Oh, okay. So that maybe it'll come. Maybe there'll be something exclusive there.
Yeah, but the Lego set will come with not only a Giant Man figure, a giant. It's just a bunch of Lego pieces that form the Giant Man figure. You'll also get minifigures of Captain America, Winter Soldier, Scarlet Witch, Iron Man, War Machine, and Sharon Carter, who is Agent 13.
That's a lot of Lego figures.
And Falcon.
Oh man.
And Black Widow.
Yep.
Where's Hawkeye? I'm just throwing that out
making
there.
His own movie, I guess.
Just throwing it out there.
So I would like to propose a new news
section.
New
news. What What is it?
Food news.
What? What?
As many times with popular movies or popular toys or whatever, you will get food that comes with these.
Oh my.
Licensed,
Mhm.
like, well, one of them is the Batman versus Superman cereal. Don't know if you saw that.
No.
I heard it's awful. Don't try it.
Oh, I'm gonna buy it.
But if you want the box, it's got a nice picture of like Batman's chest on it with the cereal below it. It's definitely worth checking out if you're like a box collector or any kind of food collector, anything like that. But it is worth mentioning. I'm sure there is a Superman version of it too. I just have not seen it at my local supermarket.
Care for it. Oh,
but so there's the first bit of super food news. There we go. But also the upcoming Ghostbusters movie.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, slightly before you, I remember Ghostbuster food was like it carried on. The movie was out when like in the 80s, and there was sequels and whatnot and the TV series, but that food kept going. Specifically the high C ecto cooler.
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff was around long after that movie was out. So fans have been craving, they want that ecto cooler. That's kind of one of those, like, you see top foods of the 90s that aren't available anymore. Ecto cooler's always on that list. Well, so far they haven't announced Ecto Cooler, but we are getting Ghostbusters Key Lime Slime Twinkies. So that tells you that at least Ghostbusters is, kind of doing the thing where they're going to, license out their name for food. Mm-hmm. So, fans are saying the big reveal's coming. That Ecto Cooler High C's coming back. So we'll keep a High C watch. Oh, yeah. We're going to keep a lookout for that because we know
food news.
We know that fans are waiting for that Ecto Cooler High C, and I'm sure these Twinkies are awful. But maybe we will get one, and we'll try it, and we'll give you a little idea once we find them. I don't think they're out just yet, but we'll keep a watch at the supermarket.
I want to jump back to 20s for a second because didn't you mention you had some Power Ranger?
Oh,
you said you were going to tell me about.
I was kind of hoping you forgot about that.
Oh.
So Bandai America has announced that I believe it's continuing their legacy series of Power Ranger. Where they basically take original Power Ranger toys and they make them awesomely, more modern and higher quality than they were back in the 90s. Well, the one that we're getting now, yes, it is for the legacy, is the Communicator. And this Communicator does not only come with one color. It comes with all 5. I'm assuming that later they will offer a special edition with the white and the green. Mm-hmm. But the regular Legacy edition includes the black, red, pink, yellow, and blue. So what it is basically is you get the watch looking thing, and it has a like clicks in, or a piece of rubber or something that clicks into the bottom of it so that you can change the color based on whichever Ranger you want to pretend to be. I'm assuming it doesn't work, but it'd be cool if you could sync it with your phone or some shit.
Yeah, I want it.
So that's something to watch out for. It looks like it's $69.99, right?
Oh, easy worth it.
Yeah. So.
And from what I'm reading, it's estimated to come out in July.
Yeah,
so I have a little bit of time to save.
So there'll probably be, keep a watch. There'll probably be a special SDCC version of that as well, just like they've done with the past Legacy editions. Continuing that Legacy line, they've also announced that they're doing the Thunderzord, the Thunder Megazord, in the Legacy diecast series. And opposed to my other opinions on some of these Legacy series Power Rangers, I personally have the ones from my childhood, so I've never felt the need for these. But this one for the Legacy Thunderzord actually looks better than the original.
Really?
The original toy, because there were so many moving parts and it was plastic, actually kind of was bulky, hard to play with. The diecast on this one actually looks really good. It's shiny, like similar to the Zords, as all of the diecast ones have been, but it's also thinner, and it looks like it's more like a person. Like it looks better.
Yeah.
And I haven't. The other ones I'm kind of like, okay, whatever. I don't really need these things. I've got the originals, but this one I was like, that one's pretty cool.
You might go for it.
I don't know. I don't think I'm ready to jump. I've already got I got my original one. I'm good.
Yeah.
But, it's still pretty cool.
Oh no!
So that there's some good Power Ranger news from the newbies and the original toys. I mean,
That's
it's
pretty
not
groovy.
It's not. I guess it's a good week for toy news.
Oh yeah. Well, that will wrap up all of our news for the week. Before we head out of here, I definitely wanted to just bring up some upcoming things, like I mentioned at the beginning of this episode. We will be having, obviously, this is the Token Nerd podcast, and if you had noticed, we had a video of us unboxing the Marvel Collector Core Deadpool box. And so we'll be doing that bi-monthly. We've also are looking forward to the Collection Legion or Legion. Yeah,
DC
Collection.
Legions of Collectors.
Thank you. That should be coming any week now.
Yeah, we'll also have the He-Man Masters of the Universe, the new figures for the Filmation series. We'll have those coming in the coming months, and the Collector's Choice series. I'll have those as well that we can open up.
Yeah.
Long ways down the road, but we'll have those Thundercats as well.
So we'll be having special episode or special review that will not be podcast. We'll have video of us unboxing those, and we'll also be having little shorter episodes of us opening and reviewing other toys and figures. Spoiler alert, they'll mostly be Funkos or Funko Pops because
he's got a lot of them, people.
I have a lot, and it's also I'll be buying a lot. So as I get those, I'll be doing unboxings. We'll be posting those online. The second playlist we're probably going to put up will be the movie reviews, where we'll sit down, we'll watch the new movies and the new movies that hit theaters. We'll give us reviews and we'll recap those, and then we will also be doing some bad movies on Netflix.
Yeah, some bad ones. We actually did watch one bad one that we did not actually do the review of, but if you've ever seen it, it is called Spear.
And it was awful. It had Samuel Jackson.
I was getting ready to say, and the reason we watched it, we was like, this got like a 2-star on Netflix. Or like, but it's got Samuel L. Jackson in it.
And
we thought that was going to be the saving grace of that movie.
It wasn't.
So if you enjoy bad movies as much as we do, once we start posting those, we will let you know, because we've seen some bad ones.
Yeah, we've been there. All right, folks. Well, that will wrap up tonight's episode.
Yeah.
Token Nerd, the Playful 8.
we're forcing this one, but folks, if you want to tell us how bad our titles are, you can go ahead and send us a fan mail, and you can tell us at tokennerdpodcast@gmail.com, or heck, you could like this video, or you could let us know down in the comments that we really need to come up with some better titles. While you're on our channel, why don't you go ahead and subscribe so you can keep up with all that new stuff that we're going to be adding here as far as channels and any new episode that we're posting. And if you want to go ahead and follow us on social media, over at Twitter, we're at token_nerd. And the same thing there on Instagram. We're always posting things from our collections or about our posts, and sometimes or about our show. And we also throw up little things, news bits here and there that are fun for us. And heck, we even set up a Facebook.
Yep.
I mean, if anybody knows anything about setting up Facebook pages, not always the most effective way to get it in your newsfeed anymore, but it's there, so you could check it out. And we try to post whenever we have new episodes or anything like that. So, and
that's also Token Nerd.
Oh yes, Token Nerd. Sorry. Really, we're just having a lot of fun doing this podcast.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot better.
Yeah,
for those of you who listened to our first couple episodes, they were rough.
They sounded like sandpaper, kind of like scratching on the floor. Like that's kind of what they sounded like. So we got this down now. We're doing a little better. So if you want to keep growing with us on this podcast, just go ahead and subscribe so you get the latest updates. But as always, I'm Travis.
And I'm Anthony.
And stay spicy, my friends.